Hello there. Last night, in a vindictive show of ill-thought-out temper, Brussels placed a hard vaccine border between North and South Ireland, and after international and cross-party criticism, the EU Commission was forced to reverse that decision. Firstly, please subscribe and like this video to give my channel a boost, and I'm always uploading new content, so please do check back daily, and a big thanks to my Patreon and PayPal supporters. What a screeching EU turn. The EU Commission President Ursula von der Leyen was forced to eat humble pie last night and reverse the decision taken just hours earlier to cut off Northern Ireland from the EU single market where vaccines are concerned. What they did was invoke Article 16 of the Withdrawal Agreement Northern Irish Border Protocol, which says, if the application of this protocol leads to serious economic, societal or environmental difficulties that are liable to persist or to diversion of trade, the Union or the United Kingdom may unilaterally take appropriate safeguard measures. And this comes after weeks of the Northern Irish community having to suffer the direct societal and economic repercussions of the protocol on their own lives, while teething problems were overcome. But just one little hint that the EU isn't getting its own way, and bang, down come the diktats from on high in the EU. And they didn't even bother to tell their colleague, the Prime Minister of the Republic of Ireland, what they were up to. This is not going to boost business confidence for those operating in or with the European Union, especially with rumours that the EU had plans to take over vaccine factories if need be. Now, the Spanish Foreign Minister, Arantxa González Leyen, told the BBC Newsnight programme that Article 16 had been triggered by accident, and that the error had been rectified. The DUP leader Arlene Foster blasted the use of Article 16 by the EU and has also pressed the Prime Minister Boris Johnson to now use Article 16 on the UK side to sort out the aforementioned trade flow problems. But I've been on to some of the other main party websites' press release pages and found the Lib Dems. No mention of this politically important event. I'm sure they're working on a press release. Labour's shadow Northern Ireland Secretary Louise Haigh did put out a statement saying that Brussels should revoke the action. Although had this been a Tory-led move, there would have been far more condemnation. The Green Party, not a peep as far as I can see, although they did yesterday call for the UK government to publish the contract it has with AstraZeneca, not realising the supply contract was made public some time ago. The SNP, not a dicky bird. In fact, the SNP has gone extremely quiet. I wonder if something else is bothering them. Now, spokespersons for the parties concerned may have made comments on air or in the press, but why do these not appear on their websites? Or are they hoping to keep quiet until the row blows over, then take up cudgels once again for the EU against Boris at a later stage? The SNP especially will never want to rock the Brussels dinghy. And as I've already said, could you imagine the vitriol from these people had the Tory government done this exact same thing? In fact, given the way it was conducted, they would probably have called it a Trump-like act. And after all their condemnation of Boris for those clauses he planned to put in the UK Internal Market Bill, now we can see he should have kept them in there. And another thing, where was the current US administration in all of this? The pro-EU lobby in the UK seems quite content for the EU that insisted on the protocol to protect the peace process to casually breach that protocol without any notice or negotiation at all. Anyway, it's also becoming clearer that the EU does not have a leg to stand on regarding their claims of having a binding contract with AstraZeneca. As more and more experts look at the AstraZeneca contract that the EU waved in the air, more and more of them are saying that AstraZeneca's case looks stronger and stronger. And the best bit was reading Stephen Barrett in The Spectator saying that this vaccine row shows that the EU doesn't understand contracts. And one really telling point he makes is that you can't say someone's breached a contract until they've actually breached it. And also that using reasonable best efforts is not the same as a binding commitment. But not only that, we had the Germans telling everyone who would listen that the UK Oxford AstraZeneca vaccine won't work properly on the over 65s and probably not on the over 60s as well. While President Macron of France was saying loudly that the vaccine was almost ineffective. And don't tell me that Germany and France were not the two main jealous drivers behind this blatant misuse of Article 16 of the Northern Ireland Protocol. And it prompted people around the web to say that the EU thinks there are two things wrong with the AstraZeneca vaccine. One, that it doesn't work, and two, they need much more of it. And others were asking if there was an EU impeachment process to get rid of Ursula von der Leyen. Now, I would usually say just wait until the next elections to get rid of her. Except the people never elected her in the first place, did they? In fact, hers was the only name on the ballot paper when the EU Parliament voted to accept her. Now, with France and Germany questioning the efficacy of the AstraZeneca vaccine, you might be tempted to think they'd drop their orders for it. But get this, I don't think they can. While the company is contracted to use best reasonable efforts to produce the vaccines, the EU 27 member states have each agreed to binding allocations. The number of initial Europe doses set forth in the binding allocation shall be the total number of initial Europe doses that each participating member state is required to purchase pursuant of this agreement, says the contract. So as far as I can see, when AstraZeneca makes the vaccines available, each of the EU 27 must buy their allocated lot. Now, you may be thinking that this is just a local EU-UK spat, but the Weekend Australian reports the European Commission has slapped an immediate export ban on coronavirus vaccines to Australia so European citizens can be vaccinated first, throwing the rollout of Australia's programme into disarray. In a dramatic move that could escalate into a broader trade war, the EU has begun hoarding the vaccines for 450 million Europeans after claiming the UK had hijacked doses of the AstraZeneca vaccine made in a Brussels plant. Let's hope for Australia's sake that their contracts will be honoured now that Ursula von der Leyen has tweeted, "Constructive talks with Prime Minister Boris Johnson tonight. We agreed on the principle that there should not be restrictions on the export of vaccines by companies where they are fulfilling contractual responsibilities. But as of now, the EU will find that it has broken trust and might find it hard work to recover." Now, I hear that the UK has secured 60 million doses of the new vaccine Novavax, which will be made in Stockton-on-Tees, while the EU appears to be mired in exploratory talks, with the UK government saying, "Thanks to the work of the government's vaccines task force, the UK has secured 60 million doses of Novavax's vaccine to be delivered in the second half of this year, if approved for use by the Medicines and Healthcare Products Regulatory Agency, who will assess whether the vaccine meets robust standards of safety, effectiveness and quality." While Reuters reported yesterday that the German Health Minister Jens Spahn says the EU Commission is negotiating the amount of doses it will buy from the US company. The EU and its member states should realise something is drastically wrong when even the Labour arch-rejoiner Lord Adonis feels forced to take to Twitter to say, The UK government clearly did a better job than the EU in procuring vaccine supplies and putting in place urgent industrial production. The Commission and the governments of France and Germany separately, as is their right and duty, should now focus on doing the same. Anyway, if you want to hear more from me, please don't forget to subscribe and also press that little bell, or you won't get any notifications. And if you want to see more of me, buy a mug with my mug on it by following the link in the descriptions box below and support me on Patreon or PayPal. So what do you think about all of this? Please share and comment, and thank you for watching.